So I know everyone is talking about Shakur Stevenson's performance after his bout with Artem Arutunian on Saturday night, and although it was a complete shutout by Stevenson, it's strange to me why so many fans gave the fight this much attention, or why any even bothered to watch the fight in the first place, since it was once again another snooze fest from Tupac Jr. A snooze fest, that is, if you aren't a boxing purist who is infatuated with the sweet science, also known as the art of boxing. This definitely wasn't your cup of tea if you ain't. I for one thought it was masterful, like it's no doubt about it. The boy is good at what he does and that is boxed beautifully. But I'd be a damn lie if I sat up here and said there was any excitement during this fight, like any at all. So I can understand why Shakur will have a hard time selling this type of outing to the public. I can understand why Shakur is the second fighter in just 3 weeks to put Frank the Ghost Martin the fuck to sleep. Trust me, I get it. But at the end of the day, that boy went out there and did what he had to do. Now, if only he could stay his ass off these apps and understand that just because people don't enjoy watching it doesn't mean motherfuckers hate him. Maybe he should realize that a lot of folk would prefer him to fight like Terrence Bud Crawford rather than Andre Ward. Nothing against SOG, who is one of my favorite fighters of all time, by the way. It's just we all know that shit doesn't sell tickets, my guy. And even Devin Haney had to learn the hard way that there is only one Floyd Mayweather. With all that being said though, I would like to focus on the elephant in the room that is Shakur Stevenson turning down a $15 million contract extension from Top Rank, a deal that guaranteed him $3 million a fight. Furthermore, legitimizing that he is going to explore free agency like many had already expected him to do. He not only wore this shirt while giving his post-fight interview, basically trolling Lomachenko and calling out promoter Bob Arum, but we can leave it up to the guy we call Twitterson to leave everyone on social media with these pardoning gifts of tweets, basically letting it be known that he was indeed unhappy with the promotion and revealing that Top Rank must have felt the same. Which brings me to more recent speculation and rumors leading up to Saturday night's fight. Because according to sources within Top Rank, it is promoter Floyd Mayweather who has a very strong chance of signing Shakur Stevenson. Word is, these sources from Top Rank believe Shakur will be the newest star under the Mayweather Promotions banner, and after the falling out / departure from Gervonta Tank Davis, it would actually make the most sense, being that Mayweather and company need someone to fill that void, especially since Carmel Moulton, who also had a fight on Saturday night, is young and still getting himself established. Carmel is indeed the future, but I'm sure since TMT is in need of the quote-unquote right now, Shakur Stevenson would be the perfect candidate to run a campaign. I mean, since he did post a screenshot of himself and Floyd on FaceTime, most would like to take that as an indication that Shakur is in talks for a deal with Mayweather Promotions / PBC, but in a more recent interview with Fight Hype, when asked about the post along with a cryptic comment from Mayweather, Stevenson said that he would be working with Floyd again, but that he was not confirming or giving a scoop about any of the recent suspicions from the boxing world. Now, when answering these questions, you could see just by his facial expressions and mannerisms that Shakur was very careful when speaking. So with all of this speculation going on, it makes one wonder if Shakur's free agency is why we hear things like Vasily Lomachenko is rejecting a fight with Tank Davis all of a sudden. It was reported that Lomachenko even implied that he would step aside just so that Shakur and Tank can fight instead, with him, Loma, facing the winner next year. Of course, if you're a high-tech fan, you're going to have a hard time explaining to Tank fans that Loma isn't ducking any smoke, because with Tank's co-trainer Kenny Ellis pretty much leaking this information that Lomachenko made such a suggestion during negotiations, we all know once fanboys get to talking shit, there's no stopping them. Fortunately for Loma fans and boxing fans in general, according to Bob Arum and Lomachenko's manager, Loma will be traveling to the States this week to negotiate his next fight under Top Rank, with Arum alluding to the fact that there are still ongoing negotiations for a bout with Tank Davis, meaning that with all these possibilities and different avenues coming into play, this just may be confirmation that Gervonta Tank Davis is actually keeping his word and trying to make the biggest fights happen. at least when it comes to word of mouth. And with Shakur and Tank possibly being brought to the forefront as one of the possible matchups that seem to be on a collision course for a few years now, if Shakur pulls the wool over everyone's eyes and does indeed sign with Mayweather, that might just make it a lot more personal if it already wasn't, and will give us yet another great storyline where it actually might be needed, especially if you're Shakur Stevenson. Look man, this nigga said it himself, every hood in America will tune into a Tank vs Shakur fight, and with Lomachenko possibly removing himself from the equation, we might receive an even bigger fight than expected come this November or December. Pop off.